Hi there. Both the houses of Parliament today saw some stormy scenes as opposition raised the issue of the security breach that took place yesterday. Opposition has sought to corner the government on the issue, demanding an answer from Home Minister Amit Shah, even as the government assured that the matter is being dealt with seriously and that the breach is being thoroughly investigated. Amidst the uproar in both houses of Parliament, 14 opposition MPs were suspended for the remainder of the session. In the Rajya Sabha, TMC MP Derek O'Brien was suspended after he had a face-off with House Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar following him moving into the well of the House and flinging his arms in the air. Infuriated, Dhankar asked Derek to leave, and subsequently the upper house adopted a motion moved by the leader of the House, Piyush Goyal, to suspend the TMC MP.
Look at responsible people. Honorable members, why are you gesticulating? I hereby name Sri Derek O'Brien. Derek O'Brien is hereby named to leave the House immediately. What are you doing? Mr. Derek O'Brien, you have committed breach of privilege. Mr. Derek O'Brien to leave the House immediately.
In the Lok Sabha, 13 opposition MPs were suspended for the remainder of the session for displaying utter disregard to the chair's directions. 9 of them belong to the Congress party and others were from the DMK and the CPM. They staged a dharna on the floor of the House protesting against their suspension and reiterating that the Home Minister must answer on the security breach. They've also demanded action against BJP MP Pratap Simha, on whose reference the passes were issued to the intruders.
What happened yesterday was a colossal security and intelligence failure. We want the government to come and take the and inform the House on what happened yesterday and what are the steps they are taking. The government is adamant in not coming. Either the Prime Minister or the Home Minister should actually make a statement, and the government is totally adamant in not making a statement. So we are demanding that. When MPs demand that, of course we protest. Just because we demanded and protest, in order to stifle our voice, about 15 odd MPs have been suspended for the remaining of the session. But there is a comedy of errors even in that. They have suspended Mr. S.R. Parthiban of the DMK, who is not even present in the House today. So this is just an ham-handed, random manner in which they have suspended people, which has no meaning at all, instead of addressing the bigger issue, which is the security and intelligence failure of yesterday. So this is very disappointing.
There is an MP who has actually given the passes for these people to come in. No action has been taken against that MP. And when we protest and we want the Prime Minister and the Home Minister to come and give a statement in the House, they're not prepared to do that. And when we protest, they are suspending all the opposition MPs.
ये भी डेरेक ओब्रायन को राज्यसभा से सस्पेंड कर दिया क्योंकि उन्होंने इस मुद्दे को उठाया, और 14 हमारे सांसद जो हैं कांग्रेस के भी और अन्य दलों के भी इसी मांग पे सस्पेंड कर दिए गए हैं लोकसभा से। मैं कहती हूँ आपने ये सारी कार्रवाई की, पर हम मांग कर रहे हैं कि देश के गृह मंत्री हमें आकर जवाब दें कि सुरक्षा में चूक कैसे हुई। ऐसी क्या मजबूरी है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो एमपी हैं प्रताप सिम्हा, उनसे प्रश्न नहीं पूछा जा रहा है या उन पे कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की जा रही है।
Meanwhile, the government assured that the matter is being handled in a sensitive manner and a thorough probe has already been ordered. In the Lok Sabha, it was Prahlad Joshi, the Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister, who accused the opposition of politicizing the matter when an inquiry has already been initiated. In the upper house, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh assured that all concerns with respect to the incident are being looked into.
Having taken serious note of the misconduct of Sri Veka Srikandan, Sri Beni Benhan, Sri Mohammad Javed, Sri P.R. Natarajan, Mrs. Kanimoji, Sri K. Subramaniam, Sri S.R. Pratibhan, Sri S. Venkateshan and Sri Manikam Tagore, MPs in utter disregard to the House and to the authority of the Chair, having been named by the Chair, resolved that the above mentioned member be suspended from the service of the House from the remainder of the session under Rule 374(2).
सबने उसको कंडम किया है, बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना है, इसमें कहीं दो मत नहीं है और आपने तुरंत इसका संज्ञान लेते हुए इस मामले की पूरी जांच का जो है आदेश दे दिया है। मैं समझता हूं कि भविष्य में हम सारे सांसद, चाहे वो पक्ष के हों अथवा प्रतिपक्ष के हों, सभी को सावधानी बरतने की आवश्यकता है ताकि जिनको भी हम पास देते हैं ऐसे व्यक्ति को पास न दिया जाए जो जाकर इस प्रकार की अराजक स्थिति संसद भवन के अंदर पैदा कर दे। यह हम सभी को, केवल सत्ता पक्ष ही नहीं बल्कि दूसरे पक्ष के लोगों को भी यह सावधानी बरतने की जरूरत है। और आपने तुरंत संज्ञान लेकर इस मामले का, अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपने जांच का आदेश दिया है और अन्य भी जो प्रिकॉशन भविष्य में लिए जा सकते हैं वह लिए जाएंगे। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपकी जानकारी में मैं यह भी लाना चाहता हूं कि यह हमारा ये पुराना संसद भवन है, उसमें भी इस प्रकार से बराबर जैसे नारेबाजी की घटनाएं और पेपर फेंकना और तरह तरह की जंपिंग की घटनाएं पिछले जो हमारा पहले का पार्लियामेंट है उसमें भी पहले हो चुकी हैं। मैं समझता हूं कि सभी को मिलकर इस घटना को कंडेम करना चाहिए और जांच रिपोर्ट जो आपने दी है और साथ ही भविष्य में क्या क्या प्रिकॉशंस लिए जाने चाहिए इसका भी आपने निर्देश दिया है अध्यक्ष महोदय। तो मैं समझता हूं कि इस प्रकार से इस संसद के अंदर अराजक स्थिति पैदा करने का कोई औचित्य नहीं है।
All right, let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining us is Vivek Bansal, senior leader of the Congress party. With us also is Mohammad Tauseef Rahman of the TMC. Let me start with you first. Mohammad Tauseef Rahman, in the upper house, it is only Member of Parliament Derek O'Brien who was in fact suspended for the remainder of the session. Now, we saw the face-off that was taking place, if I can call it that, between the chairman and Mr. Derek O'Brien. They say that while they are free to protest, there is certain decorum that needs to be maintained, and clearly they believe that Derek O'Brien has breached that decorum. How would you respond to that charge? Tauseef.
Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to everyone. Madhav, you have been seeing as well all these things happening inside the parliament. The only problem is that we are from Trinamool Congress. And, the Honorable Speaker was very much serious and he was looking stern against Derek O'Brien. Instead of that, he should be very serious and should have taken stern action against the BJP MP. But I'll come that into a later part. Madhav, if you raise questions in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, first of all, you won't get answers if you're from Trinamool Congress. Instead, you'll be suspended just like Mahua, Moitra and Derek O'Brien. Trinamool Congress will not back off. We are fighting and we will fight for our country. Have any steps been taken against the BJP MP Pratap Sinha for providing passes to these accused? Why isn't he being suspended and questioned till now? Inquiry chalegi, jaanch hogi, hum aage karwai dekhenge. Okay. If someone has done a Reiki, can you understand the seriousness? Can't we ask question? Can't we raise our voice? Instead of that, we are being blamed that we are doing ruckus. Mahua Moitra was suspended because of login ID password. Come on, it's okay. Panel committee did that. We accept it. She's going to the court. Everything is online. But this is very, very, very serious, Madhav. 140 crore people jeopardized. They are not safe at all. This was Parliament. This was not India Gate. That was not Appu Ghar. That anyone will come and ask pass.
Okay.
Entry pass. Even you can't go, Madhav. You need a proper officially times now pass to go inside.
Well, on a lighter note, I have been covering Parliament for a good part of the last 13 years and I have a valid pass of the Parliament also as we speak. But let me put that question across to Charu Pragya. That was on a lighter vein. That was on a lighter vein. You've asked 3 questions. Let me get in a response, sir, because, if you ask so many questions and they're not responded to, then that takes away from the debate. You've raised some pertinent points. Let Charu Pragya of the BJP now respond to that. Charu Pragya, 3 questions, if I've got them right. Why no action on Pratap Sinha? Why can't we raise our voice in Parliament, the TMC is asking? And also, they are saying that this is hypocrisy on national security where you take action on Mahua Moitra but not on your own party's MP who is responsible for this breach. Your response?
Good evening, Madhav. And what happened at the Parliament was very unfortunate. And it is even more unfortunate that it happened on such a sensitive day. The fact here is that there was a lapse of judgment on behalf of the office of Mr. Sinha. He is a member of Parliament, of course. He is responsible for the people who are getting passes. Of course, I understand that as well. But people who were issued the passes belonged to his constituency. And we are going to get to the bottom of this. And the BJP MP is cooperating with the investigation. That's my answer to your point number 1. The second question you have raised. Why Mahua, Moitra, etc., etc. Do you know who was one of the women who was raising slogans outside Parliament? जो कह रही थी संविधान बचाओ, जो कह रही थी कि you should have heard her talk. संविधान बचाओ के नाम पर you are the one who's becoming a lawbreaker. संविधान बचाओ की बातें कौन करते हैं यहाँ पर, मुझको बताइए. Isn't it people who are supporting the left and who are supporting the TMC and who are supporting the Congress party? Wasn't this person, Neelam Azad, also the person who was seen on video asking for votes for the Congress party? Should we not look into this? Was this some kind of a ploy? I don't know, because the way they are politicizing this, it sounds like a ploy. Thirdly, and most importantly, I want to remind everyone that as soon as this unfortunate incident occurred, the Honorable Speaker called for a meeting on the floor of the House of all the floor leaders. Everybody was there. They gave their suggestions to improve the security. Some of those suggestions have already been implemented. And you are looking for a reason to defame India and to defame the Indian Parliament in such an ugly way. Look at the way you're talking. You are comparing a criminality of Mahua Moitra to an outsider who came and created ruckus. Yes, there was a security lapse. Yes, we are working to investigate it. But does that mean that you'll politicize it for your own personal gain? Because to me, these three people looked like they were there for their 15 seconds of fame, and they might even be rewarded by these opposition political parties, like they rewarded a Kanhaiya Kumar.
The political allegations part of your argument is something. But when you say कि कौन कहता है संविधान बचाओ, it is only left. Once again, Charu Pragya, when you say that कौन कहता है संविधान बचाओ, it is only left in the Congress, I think that becomes a little problematic, because as citizens we should all be upholding the Constitution. It's our duty. But nevertheless, since you've raised the question of her links with the Congress party,
we are.
Yeah.
No. One minute. But who's raising these slogans every day?
No. Charu, there's nothing wrong with saying save the Constitution. That's perfectly legitimate. Political links, yes. Let Mr. Vivek Bansal answer.
Well, Madhav, first of all, good evening. And I would, as far as her allegation that about the lady who is upholding a placard and asking for for saving the Constitution, I don't think even if she has links with the Congress, what's wrong with it? I don't understand that Congress people can't raise a voice against the lapses in the security in the Parliament and raising their voice and. To this, our honorable panelist has an objection to that. That's something very, very ridiculous, I would like to say. And definitely, what all has happened, that's something very, 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 I would say, in the present day world, when we are facing the brunt of terrorism all around, when we are talking against that zero tolerance to terrorism and all, and this is a lapse, happened again, and in the new Parliament. New Parliament which must have been strategized as far as the security concerns are and all are that they all must have been taken into consideration. And despite that, this lapse happens, and they have the audacity or temerity to say that this should not have been done. Why the opposition should not? Why it should not politicize in a democracy? We are supposed to politicize the lapses on the part of any ruling dispensation and to raise our voice against that and to as we have been saying that the ruling dispensation is bulldozing and muzzling the voice of the opposition on any issue. I think something this doesn't portend very well for the democracy and for the Constitution, and this is and let me say it should be very even-handedly tackled when she says that Mahua Motra's case was criminal, and that too may have been. That is the court to decide. A committee has taken a decision on that. So we would not like to, but at the same time, this issue needs to be tackled with equanimity, and instead of listening to the member of parliament, they have been suspended to raise their voice.
Okay, so let me put that question across to Charu Pragya. Charu Pragya, for a democracy, you're crushing dissent, you're crushing any voice that does not agree with the government, and in this case, the opposition has every right to raise his voice, says Vivek Bansal, because this was a failure of the administration end of the day, under the current regime at the centre. Why could we not question it? That's a question coming in from opposition. Please answer, Mr. Vivek Bansal.
And there is a vast difference between questioning something which went wrong and indiscipline and anarchy. What transpired at Parliament after this incident was anarchy. It was indiscipline. The speaker is there with you. He's listening to you. He's conversing with you. He's taking suggestions from you. Yet you continue to push an agenda which is only beneficial to you and not to the country. You're not even waiting for the police to come up and tell you who's behind this. What is the reason? What is happening?
No, but who's to decide that? Who's to decide that becomes a problematic question. They're saying we are speaking the people's voice.
No, I'm sorry. I am.
Because they're saying the country is outraged at this incident and we are representing the people's voice. That's the version of the opposition.
And they are the only people who are representing the people. What about all the other parliamentarians who've been elected and sent to parliament? What about them? You actually hide behind the facade of wanting to represent a certain voice from the country by you being very, very anarchist. I'm sorry, and this has happened too many times. This is not about indiscipline. This is about enjoying the chaos. This is about wanting chaos because it gives you your 15 seconds of political fame. And that is not going to be tolerated. It doesn't matter which direction it comes from.
You're enjoying the anarchy and the chaos. Tauseef Rahman, your response to Charu Pragya.
Madhav, I have some points. I need some points, very serious. First, Derek O'Brien was not celebrating Christmas inside the parliament. If this term ruckus has been used, even if he was doing a ruckus, he was doing for the country. He was raising questions. He was asking the security for the people. And the Honorable Speaker, as his duty is to listen to the people with full patience. He can't segregate things. He was so serious with Derek. Second, one of the accused family clearly stated that the BJP MP is very known to him. He was kind of a friend. So if he's a friend, that you can't say that, nay, I don't know this person. We just give this kind of letters to any Tom, Dick and Harry who can go inside the parliament. Second, Madhav, I will just complete in 30 seconds. In 2024, when the campaign will begin, the BJP will go district, village and cities, and they will go and campaign that if you will give me vote, we have some segregations. So inside the parliament, the security lapse happened was not because of us. It depends on the secretariat. वो हमारे जिम्मे में नहीं आता है. So you should ask them. So while you give us the vote, if something happens to you, the other person will answer, not us. So basically, the vote will be divided and BJP will segregate their duties. Okay. They will say that we will only give you schemes. We will only help you with bhashan and speech. But if the security is concerned, we are not there.
Tauseef Rahman, stay with us. Vivek Bansal and Charu as well. We're going to come back to this debate. We have to take a very quick break right now. We'll be back with this debate in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're discussing the massive political face-off as far as the parliament security breach is concerned. And Charu, before we went into the break, question coming from Tauseef Rahman, just as you've accused the links of Congress party with one of the intruder suspects. Similarly, Tauseef Rahman says the family members of another intruder have talked about their close links with the member of parliament of the BJP from Mysuru, Pratap Simha. Your response to that, Charu Pragya?
Yes, Madhav, and I heard that. And first of all, he had links to someone in MP Simha's office. There is a difference between the two. And secondly, we all admit there was an error of judgment. But this person was from the constituency of Pratap Simha. And it is the norm. And especially right now, everybody is excited to see the new parliament. A lot of visitors are going in. We do need to do a recheck on who's getting a pass issued and what kind of a background check is run. But for that, you are painting an MP who's cooperating every step of the way with the investigation into the one who's the culprit. I mean, how are you even behaving? You are not concerned with somebody जो खड़े होके चिल्ला रहा है तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी. किसकी तानाशाही भाई? कहाँ ये connection है? कहाँ ये link है? आप project क्या करना चाहते हो? And is this something which should be encouraged? You are not concerned about the people who've raised these slogans and who wreaked havoc on parliament that day. You're not concerned at all. For me, it seems like there is an ulterior
Charu, after raising the questions, we are getting suspended.
Charu ji, political messaging across.
Charu ji, we are getting suspended after raising the questions.
No, you did not raise the question. The questions had already been raised. No.
This is what India wants to know. 140
You know what? There was a live stream. No. Do not pretend asking a question is equivalent to you being anarchist and that being tolerated. No, I don't think so.
So what you were doing inside?
Taking joy and being anarchist at a situation like this is not going to be tolerated.
All right. Completely out of
Derek
time.
O'Brien is the attacker.
Well, there are several
What he was
questions.
doing is right.
There are still several
days-
questions that remain. Mohammad Tauseef Rahman, Vivek Bansal, Charu Pagya, I'd like to thank all three of you for joining us in the debate this evening. Several questions continue. We'll have to see how this will proceed over the next few days. Tomorrow, of course, is the end of the week. But the next week, too, we're going to continue to see a washout of the session on account of this issue. All eyes on what will happen on ground in Parliament. For the moment, slipping into a quick break.